you going to be the next kitty of the month? Covered in her hair. Hello and welcome back to my cat calendar series where I draw a cat for every month of the year until I have enough to make an entire calendar. This is month 5. We're now in May, which is really exciting. That means this is going to be the 5th illustration that I have made so far this year. I'm really proud of what I've been doing so far, and I'm excited to see what this month has in store. We'll get right into all of the inspiration and all the things that I'm thinking about. But before we do that, I just want to say thanks for watching and all the people who comment and like and who have subscribed so far. I think it's nice feeling like I'm not talking into the void all the time. So if you guys have been here for all 5 months so far, or if this is the first video you're seeing, thanks for watching. I'm having a lot of fun, so I hope you stick around. All right, now let's get into it, shall we? Hey, let's do a little bit of body doubling while I talk about the things that I'm thinking of for this month's illustration. So, of course, this month is May, and a big thing that is happening in May is Mother's Day. So spring is coming to a close, flowers are out, the weather is warm, but I wanted to focus in on Mother's Day, more specifically family. So I'm thinking about maybe having mama cat and baby cat, or 3 cats kind of stacking in size. So I think that's kind of where my mind is going, along with summer and spring and flowers and stuff like that. All right, welcome to the dining room table. I needed a bit of a fresh place to do some sketching, so we're gonna sit here today, get into some thumbnailing and see what we can come up with. So these are the 3 that I have come up with, and I am feeling so conflicted over all of them. I liked this one. I like kind of having maybe a meadow, or they're kind of in grass, and I like that they're looking at each other and that they're mirroring each other. I think that that was like the big theme, is that I definitely want them all to like mirror one another. I really like this one too, because I like the stair stacked, and I like the idea of having like multiple things that are like stacked. And I think that that's a really fun idea, but I do feel like this is giving less like mama and baby and more like just a trio of cats, or maybe like they all seem just kind of shorter than another. Not one is particularly the baby. And then this one is just so cute and so precious, like having the idea of like they're both cuddling with each other and the little one is super tiny. Ugh. I don't know. This one's really hard. I have to think about it. All right, I'm gonna be really honest with you guys right now. When I said that I was gonna think about it, I expected myself to sit and think about it for the rest of the day. And excuse me if I sound a little sick, because I am. And that kind of in lies the problem. I ended up thinking about it for maybe 2 weeks, and a part of that is because I have had family visiting on and off for all of May, and spoiler alert, as of recording this voiceover,
It is not May anymore, and this video has not come out. I have been really busy, and I've been trying to make time for this illustration because I want to make sure that I'm staying consistent with this project. So I'm not gonna make any more excuses. I'm working on this even though it's June, and I'm just gonna get it out. So as you can see, I have gone with the 3 cats stair stacked, and I'm just having fun. I've decided not to put any pressure on myself to follow my original sketch. I'm just doing what feels right and what's making me happy. So I'm adding in all of these little extra fun details, and I'm really liking how it's looking so far. I'm a big fan of stars, rainbows, flowers, all of those details, so I just wanted to add those in because I'm already having such a hard time feeling motivated because I've just been so busy and it's late. But it's not going to get done if I don't do it. So I'm just trying to have as much fun as humanly possible with this. And I think it's working. I'm really excited about the 3 of these little guys. And I did my best to make the small little one look like a kitten. And I don't know if you can notice, but it has traits from both parent cats. So I'm hoping that that comes through as a family.
I did it, and it wasn't that hard, and it was a lot of fun. So now comes the coloring in, the next step, which is doing some color comps. So I'm gonna bring this into Procreate and do a little bit of that, and then we can decide how it's gonna look. Anything to say to the people? No?
All right, so I brought this into Procreate, and these are the 3 color versions that I have come up with. They're pretty similar because I definitely have like a distinct image in my head, but I just wanted to shift the colors around slightly. I'm definitely leaning towards these 2 the most. Now, the only difference between these 2 is where the blue cat is. And I have gotten a couple opinions from other people to see what they think, and I don't know. I feel like my gut is telling me to go with the very first one and having the blue one be the first. But I've heard from other people saying that maybe the middle one being the blue one is good because then it has more of a pattern and it breaks up the orange, like 2 orange cats sitting next to each other. But I don't know. Maybe this is a case where I need to go with my gut. So I think I'm picking the first one. Oh, I wish I had a kneaded eraser. This is kind of frustrating. I found a kneaded eraser. So here we are, down to the final coloring in of this illustration. And guys, I'm doing it. I'm using watercolor. Now, as you might have noticed, I have had a bit of a scene change. When filming this portion, I was visiting my grandma, and determined to get this done, I said, I'm going to just film here and paint here. And it was honestly really special and nice being able to paint, especially do watercolor, because I learned everything I know about watercolor from my grandma. She has been, as long as I can remember, a fantastic watercolor artist, and I would spend lots of summers painting with her at her house, and so this was honestly really nice and really special. I kind of like when artists do that.
Yes.
When an artist is like,
I follow them
you
for
know
one
what?
thing.
I'm the cat guy now, and this is what I draw. I'm drawing the cats. So for the background here, I am just going over in my first wash of watercolor. I definitely think that I was being a little hesitant when putting down the colors. I wish that I was able to paint with more confidence, but it's been a long time since I've painted in watercolor, and it's kind of sad because I used to do it as my primary medium in high school, and when I got into college, things definitely shifted to digital, and I was experimenting with other mediums, and I kind of just
lost interest in doing watercolor, and I guess I was maybe a little bit afraid to go back to it because there's just so many techniques that go into painting with watercolor, and it just takes a lot of time that I feel like I don't always have, whereas other mediums tend to just be quicker and easier to clean up. But something about it is just really nice and therapeutic and calming. I think when you have to wait for something to dry before you can continue to work on it, it really forces patience, which is why I think a lot of people have a hard time getting into watercolor, because you just want to rush into the next color, but then, then your colors bleed and all of that. I worked over the watercolor with some Posca pastels to just kind of continue to build up that color and the texture. I knew that I just really wanted the watercolor to be like my base layer of colors to infer what I was going to do over top in some other mediums. I think that it would have been nice to push the depths, specifically of the sky with the watercolor, but I end up later, you'll see, going over it with some other things to kind of deepen the background a little bit more. But yeah, I'm just working here on this first kitty. It's kind of sad because I realized when I was there that I completely left my colored pencils behind. And by the way, did you see that super smooth transition? We're back home now, and I can work with my colored pencils, which is very nice. They get that fine detail that the Posca pastels can't. I'm finishing up the middle cat and moving on to the biggest of the cats, the blue one, and just kind of filling in the shadows and the creases with the Posca pastels before coming in with my colored pencils to fill in that whole layer. Isn't that satisfying? I love watching the art on like double the speed because it's so satisfying to see it all just fill in immediately. Now we're moving on to work on the baby cat, and as I was like working on this one and trying to keep the tones peachy instead of super yellow like the middle cat, it made me think of Ginger and the colors that she has. And so I've come up with this headcanon for this little family that this is Ginger's parents. And I don't know why that just like makes me really happy, because we adopted her when she was like 7 months old. So I have no idea who her family was, but I like to think that this can be her little family portrait. All right, this illustration is kind of rounding out now. We are almost done. I'm just kind of doing the finishing touches on the background. And like I mentioned before, I'm trying to deepen the blues in the background so that it can be distinguished from the blue cat. Now coming in with some Posca paint markers, I am just trying to get all of those final details in with some brightening of the eyes using this white, and also going in with the yellow Posca to just brighten up those yellows. And then I'm just, adding all of those little finishing details. At this point in the illustration, I had this idea to add little elements that looked like somebody came in with like a crayon and scribbled in details like the blue clouds, and then I added little flowers to just look like, I don't know, maybe a kid came in and like drew on this just to add to that feeling of it being like a family picture. I don't know, hopefully that comes through. I thought that was a really cute detail that I added in. All right, we finished it. This is the final illustration. I am very, very happy with it. I feel like just with everything that's been going on with me and in my personal life, I feel like the theme of family has
really come through with this. So many family trips, being with family. I think that that was just kind of at the forefront of my brain. And so I'm very happy with how this little cat trio came out. I mean, it just makes me really happy, and all of the colors and everything about it just felt really right. I'm very proud of myself for stepping out of my comfort zone and trying out some watercolor, which I was a little bit nervous to do, but I think in the end, all the textures and all of the layering really helped bring it together and bring it to life. So thank you guys so much for sticking around for 5 whole months of this series and just watching this journey. I know that I am definitely learning a lot through this whole process, and so it just means a lot that, you know, people are liking it and enjoying it and following along with me. That's really cool. I'm glad also that this video is, although a little late, not super late, and I will hopefully be coming out with June's video super soon. So with that being said, I will see you guys soon for episode 6 in this series for June's cat calendar. Make sure to watch the other videos. I will link the playlist so that you don't miss out on a single one. And also subscribe if you haven't yet. That would be awesome. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.